You know what show I'm becoming quite a fan of now is the program Tourgasm on the HBO. It's the Dane Cook. It's the show that it shows him on tour with his buddies, driving around in a bus. And it's like a behind-the-scenes look at the world of what it's like touring with Dane Cook. And I would actually choose to live in any other world than that world. Holy moly. That guy seems like... That guy is a jerk. I mean, he's not funny. It's crystal clear that he's not funny. No one ever doubted that he wasn't funny. But you see him on that bus, he's like this weird type A kind of guy who's got to win everything. And it's like he's running this comedy thing like it's a business. Like it's just you don't drop your guard with your fans. You're going to tell them jokes, you don't drop your guard with your fans. You tell a joke, you don't change your persona. You don't let them know you're telling jokes. You do that, you go out there, you tell them no, you're telling jokes, you lose your place with your fans. Because he's giving like advice to like the other comics who are on tour. There's this one guy who's the MC of the tour, Jay Davis, who's like this like twerp kind of guy, and he comes out. He's like, "Hey everybody, are you Hey Central Illinois, are you ready for Tourgasm?" He comes out on stage, just trying to pump up the crowd, and then they showed him throughout the last couple weeks working on this one joke where he's like, it's like, "I'm a nice guy. You know, people say I'm too kind. I'm going to kill my friends with kindness. Like the, you got the BTK killer, I'd be the TLC killer." Just horrible. Just the most, and he's bombing so hard, and you know they're messing with the levels to make it sound like he's bombing even harder than he is. Like, because Dane Cook, the credits on the show are starring Dane Cook, executive producer Dane Cook, directed by Dane Cook. What is this guy, Orson Welles? I guess there is a new Orson Welles now, and it's Dane Cook. So he's on this bus with this fourth-rate comedians like Jay Davis, who seems like this total lame lapdog kind of guy, and then he's got this other guy, Robert Kelly, is that it? Who's like a fourth-rate Jim Norton, who's already a fourth-rate comic. This guy makes him an eighth-rate comic. Or do you do the square of a fourth-rate comic? Does that make him a 64th-rate comic? And he's like the outrageous one. He's like the one who will, he thinks he's hot. And some of his jokes are so bad. Like, I'm trying to think of some of the jokes he's said on the show before where he's like, talking about talks about bombing Afghanistan and stuff like that. He jokes like how to find Osama bin Laden. He's terrible. And the other guy, Gary Goldman, is like the best because he's just generic, and he tells a couple efficient jokes. But Dane Cook though is like this this ego monster. He's completely unhinged, and I think it's awesome that this show is he's doing this thing like he thinks it's like this testimonial to what it's like on the road, but he's actually kind of showing it's just like a look inside his weird deluded head. So trying to think of some of the other highlights. So like the good thing about it, it's got all the show. It's like him riding around on like they have like fun stuff like when they're not on tour. So it's like those guys driving around on Segways, riding around, and Dane Cook has to like ram his buddies on them and knock them off. And then it's like them driving in go-karts, and Dane Cook like has to ram them in that. And like there's one scene where the guy Jay Davis is working on his taxes on the bus, and then Dane Cook actually comes and pours water on his taxes, like a bottle of water. It's like, no one does taxes on the bus. This is not tax-gasm. This is tourgasm. No one does taxes. Like this thing. Wait, no, you're talking about this thing like it's something. Like, there's no precedence for this. You're establishing precedence as it goes on. And then he goes on stage and he seems just like seems like the frat guy that like somebody told was like funny, and he's like all confidence. He's just like a confidence machine. He's all confidence. He's like Rupert Pupkin as a frat guy. And he's just all he is attitude, and he's clearly a business major. It's clear because he's just marketing himself. And he goes up there. He's just a bully and a creep. And he after he did this one episode where he had to fly to New York and appear at something at the theater at Madison Square Garden, then fly back in time for the tour. And oh my goodness, what a hero. Can you believe how courageous he is, flying all over the place? And then they're back on the tour. You think he's going to make it back for the show? You think he's going to make it back? Oh, it's so exciting. I wonder if he'll make it back on that helicopter ride. And then he was sick, and then he gets a shot. Like, this is actually... Wait, is this actually something? Am I seeing something? It's like, they might as well have shown him, like, getting up and eating before a show, as if that, what do you think he's going to eat before the show? Oh, it's so exciting. I think it's great because when this guy has his inevitable meltdown, his inevitable collapse, we will all look back at this tourgasm thing as showing why it happened. This will be the little when we put the chart together of Dane Cook's meltdown. We can circle this little point on the graph. The one thing he does do, which is pretty cool, I gotta say, is he does meet and greets with the fans after every show. You can imagine what those meet and greets are like, because it's all four comics sitting at a table, and then it's like everyone would want a Dane Cook autograph. It's like, I got it. It's like they're going down the thing, like he's signing everything for everybody. It's like people kind of gotta get all four of them to sign it, because even though you only want Dane Cook's autograph, it's like, yeah, I got this, I want my ticket signed. It's like, hey, y'all sign your ticket too. Oh, that's all right, Jay Davis. I don't need you to sign it. But you're like bullied into like getting him to sign it. There was like a band that, I guess I can say there was a band. I'm not going to name the band though. Recently, I was trying to get autographs from this band that had gotten back together. They had their four original members playing together. It was very exciting. But they added a keyboard player for the tour, and I ended up getting like you can't not get the keyboard player to sign the thing. Like if you're getting the autographs and the keyboard player's standing right there, oh yeah, can you sign it too? Yeah. Oh, hey, can you sign this thing too? Even though you weren't on any of the albums that this is of, that I'm getting this signed by. But anyway, Dane Cook does this thing for the people. I'm going to take a page from the Dane Cook book. Oh, you hear that one? The Dane Cook book. I didn't even mean that. And that was funny. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing meet and greets after my show, where I do the radio show and then I go somewhere for about 15 minutes, and people who want to get some stuff signed or hang out with me can. And tonight I will be doing a meet and greet on the escalators in the Exchange Place path station. So if you go at 11:30, I will be at the Exchange Place path station on the escalator, riding it up and down. So if you can get there. Does that run that late? Okay, so if you get over there, you can meet me on the. We'll ride the escalator up and down. I'll do it for 15 minutes from 11:30 to 11:45.